Alright folks, welcome to our first video of the normal procedures of the Airbus A320. The very first thing you're going to have to do is the safety exterior inspection. It's performed by the pilot monitoring, and as you can see here on the QRH, only 3 items: wheel chocks, landing gear doors, and APU area. Remember, this is not the exterior inspection, it's just the safety exterior inspection, so only 3 items. I'll talk about here this asterisk that you can see, the little star. That means it needs to be done first flight of the day and also every stop. So if you have a transit stop, you have to go out and do these 3 things. Some people try to remember this as the GAC check, so I'll just write here so you guys can remember: GAC, GAC check, G for the landing gear doors, A for the APU area, and C for chocks. So let's do that. Alright, this is Prepare 3D version 4 with FS Labs. I'm here on the ramp as a little avatar. So we'll do the walk around, make sure you got your vest on, ear protection, and you have to be on the ramp. Don't try to do this from the jet bridge because you can't really see the APU area. You might be able to see the chocks and the gear doors, but really get down to the ramp. If you're boarding from the ramp, it would be a lot easier because you're already down there. So from this angle, I can accomplish a lot. You will see I got chocks on the nose, chocks on the right main, chocks on the left main. Depending on the company you fly for, chocks on the nose might be enough, or your company might say you got to have chocks on all of them. So that's it, and we'll keep walking around here to the left. I'll just show you. Alright, so I'll look up here. This is the nose gear door. Notice that it's flush. So I'll just highlight the area. So let's do it in yellow today. Alright, so this is the left nose gear door and the right nose gear door, and it's closed as it should be. If it's open, get a mechanic involved. Don't poke your head in there. Get a mechanic because that should be closed by now. They probably hand the aircraft over to you. Alright, a little thing here I'm talking about is this. This is the nose wheel assembly. Obviously this door has nothing to do with this door, so they should be there. Alright, walking towards the back. Here's an angle I can see the gear door as well. The right main gear door is closed as well. Now this door is attached to the right main gear, so that's okay to be there. Let's walk back all the way to the tail. And obviously, since you're out here, just take a look at your wings, make sure no one hit your aircraft. You're going to be coming out to actually do a long exterior inspection. Quick note about the chocks. You guys can probably see this gap here. Rampers usually leave this gap for a reason. When you fill up the aircraft with fuel, you're going to get 10,000 pounds of fuel. Guess what? The plane's going to settle a little bit on that tire more, and you won't be able to get the chocks out once you start to push back. So a little gap is acceptable. What you don't want to see is, chocks laying around here like this. Get the ramper to do their job. Well, another thing I do that it's not on the manual, but it's a good idea, especially on the A320 and 321, make sure nobody scraped your tail. Tail strikes, 320, 321, they're long aircraft. Make sure nobody has touched that tail on the ground. Alright, we'll keep going, and the main reason why you have to walk on the ramp is so you can have the view from down here. So let me raise the head, and right here is the APU area. So what the FCOM says is to make sure the APU area here is clear. There's no fuel leaking, there's not a fuel truck underneath the aircraft, and sometimes you're going to see oil streaks coming from the belly and they're going to deflect, but really, get a mechanic. Take a look at that. Your belly should be free of oil. So that's pretty much it. It's a pretty fast check, easy. You have to do it every time, first flight of the day. Turn around, or anytime you have a leg, you got to do it. And some airlines might even require you to do a walk around after the last flight of the day as well. So I'm going to go up to the cockpit so you guys can see what the gear doors look like when they're down, and they shouldn't be like that. So let me go back to the cockpit. Down here is the landing gear gravity extension. So I'm going to pull this out. We'll flip it 3 times and then walk outside. You can see the door going down. And remember, this is not normal. I'm just doing it so you can see what it should not look like. Alright, let me go outside, and that's the gear door. So this is what you do not want to see on a walk around. And you can see there's very little clearance from the gear door to the ground. Also, FS Lab's not simulating this correctly, but on the actual aircraft you have a actuator in there. So if the gear doors are open, mechanics really should put a brace around the rod of the actuator, so in case someone turns the hydraulic pump on, you know, people are not going to get trapped inside or chopped in half. So also, if the chocks weren't there, it would be pretty obvious what it would look like. So let's see if I can simulate there. Alright, so see if I can turn on this McDo. And remember, the plane is cold and dark. This is just a simulator feature that I can do. The McDo is not going to turn on without any power. So I can come here on exterior controls and take the chocks out, go back outside, and this is it. You should see chocks, at least on the nose gear, depending on your airline policy. So right now, no chocks. So what's the risk? You might ask. You know, the parking brake is on, but the parking brake can only be trusted for up to 12 hours, and I wouldn't trust it at all. Another issue on cold weather operations, if the ramp is full of glycol, remember, some airports will de-ice you at the gate. And I've seen it, chocks on all gears, release the parking brake, and the plane moved back. So if the ramp is contaminated, glycol, leave that parking brake on, chalk it, because you don't want this plane moving, you know, hitting the jet bridge or going towards the taxiway. So this is it, guys. This is the first video. I'll flip it back here. 3 items: wheel chocks, landing gear doors, APU area. Just remember the GAC check. Hope you enjoyed the video.